Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, everyone. Today's my birthday. Woo! I'm gonna have cake soon, in about 30 minutes, because that's when I said I wanted to have it. And I was just talking with some friends on Discord, and conversation led to shows, like television shows, web shows, etc. And now that got me, wanting to talk about and nerd out about my miscellaneous history knowledge on media. So that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to talk about the different kinds of shows and the different, standards for shows and how things change over time. So, starting with the first type of show ever, film serials. Not cereal like the food, even though it sounds similar, it's spelled differently. Starts with an S. Film serials. Little short films that would play before the actual film you came there to see, and would always end with a cliffhanger, so you'd have to come back next week and see the next part. Then, when television was invented, oh, hang on, my mom's coming down. What you doing?
We're going to fix your cake. You ready or not?
I said at 6.
Oh, okay.
Well, you can start getting ready. I'm gonna go upstairs while you get ready.
Oh, we'll get everything ready. Blow out the candles.
All right. Get it ready. Thaw the cake out. I guess it needs 30 minutes to unfreeze. I guess.
With my two cake, it doesn't have frosting.
Oh, okay. Well, get it ready. I'm recording a video. Okay, I'm going upstairs for this. What was I saying? Oh yeah. Lost my train of thought. So that's what they were. They would come in and it always ended with a cliffhanger, so you'd have to come back to the movie theater next week. But then television was invented, and some of those film serials started airing on TV, which basically became the blueprint for TV shows. By the mid 50s, film serials in actual, theaters were no longer a thing. They were done. It's sad. It's the end of an era. I think that's probably as high as Alistair will go from Hazbin Hotel. How he's into stuff from the old timey days. Some people say he only likes stuff from before he died, but he likes, You're Never Fully Dressed Without a Smile, which came out after he died. So there's a time frame that he likes, and I think midway through the 50s is the highest he'll go. Like, he won't go past 55, because after that is really the modern era he doesn't like. That's just my personal headcanon, but that's neither here nor there. That's not what this video is about. So, television. Let me explain TV shows. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Anyway, depending on the show, you have different, standards. So some shows are, this is rare, but any show that's like 5 to 7 minutes usually gets like 3 episodes played in a 30-minute block. If it's a show that's, 10 or 11 minutes, then you get 2 episodes in a 30-minute block. And if it's a 22 to 23 minute episode, then you get 1 episode per 30-minute block. And if it's an hour long, like 42 to 44 minute episode, well, you get 2 blocks because you need it, but you don't get any more. So that's the different lengths of shows. Now, for shows that are, 5 to 7 minutes, usually a special would be 11 minutes or so. And if it's an 11-minute show, then the special would be 30 minutes or 22 minutes. It's a 30-minute block, but the actual thing is like 22 minutes. The rest is commercials. You get what I'm saying. That's just the standard of television. And if it's one of those 22-minute or, 30-minute shows, then the special would be 44 minutes or, an hour. So that's the standard for time when it comes to television shows. And this got established later, that seasons usually have 26 episodes a season, or 13, depending on the show. But that didn't get established till I think the late 90s. Because Ninja Turtles: The Next Mutation had 26 episodes, but the 87 show never had 26 episodes. The 87 Ninja Turtles show had 5 in season 1, 13 in season 2, 47 in season 3. Yes, 47. They managed to squeeze all that in 1 year. It's crazy. Then they had the Vacation in Europe side season, which was made but aired later. That has 13. Season 4 has 39. Season 5 has 22, if I remember correctly. Season 6 has 16, and then season 7 has 14. And then the last 3 seasons all have 8 episodes. So, yeah, it's random. But now television has evolved, and there's a standard, 26 episodes a season. Every Ninja Turtles show and other shows after this go by that. At least 22-minute shows. I think 11-minute episode shows usually only have like 13, which is actually like 26 because they're 11 minutes. So it's 2 episodes in one 30-minute block. So they usually have 13 30-minute blocks a season. But sometimes there's more. Sometimes you get one season that has 26 blocks, but the episodes are 11 minutes. So that means 52 episodes a season. Basically what Rise has, if you count each special as 2 episodes instead of 1. Because a lot of times specials, like I mentioned earlier, if it's 30 minutes, the special's an hour, they count that as 2 episodes instead of one thing. And sometimes it later gets re-aired as 2 parts instead of one whole thing. That's the weird thing about television. So now that I've explained television, now let me explain internet. The earliest internet show that I knew of, until I found out Smosh was actually first, was The Angry Video Game Nerd. Instead of having a standard set time for each episode, the episodes, there's no time limit, it's random. And instead of the seasons being whatever, each year was a new season. So season 1 was in 2006, season 2 was in 2007, etc. The beginning of the next year, the first episode that aired next year was the beginning of the new season. That's the internet. The internet was a wild west back in the day. It's changed now because The Amazing Digital Circus was a web show. It just ended. But it didn't follow that. So it was 1 season with 9 episodes, but it lasted 3 years. So the standards have changed. And it seems like a lot of, internet shows, like I mentioned earlier, Digital Circus, have more of a set time limit. Sorry about that. Keep pausing to respond to my girlfriend. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so standard. So just like I said earlier, in the early days in the internet, it was a wild west. There was no rules, so episodes could be any length. Now it seems like some internet shows are getting more standardized. Like Digital Circus usually had episodes that were around 24 to 26 minutes, with the last 2 or 3 episodes before the finale being 30 minutes, a little 30 to 33 minutes. And then the last episode was 58 minutes. So there was a sort of standard, not perfect, but definitely closer than what the internet used to be. Now, streaming services, which streaming has replaced TV, RIP. TV is now the way of the radio. I miss it. I grew up on TV and now it's gone. My childhood's dead. Anyway, streaming services. Usually the standard for streaming is 8 episodes a season instead of, 26. And while TV shows, if they did well, they would go past 100 episodes. Most streaming shows, if they do well, don't. Because they only get 8 episodes a season, and sometimes there's years in between the seasons coming out. Like sometimes 2-3 years almost. Instead of a season of a TV show, which may get like a few month break. And sometimes they get mid-season breaks. 2012 had a lot of those. 2012 TMNT, I should specify. But now, with the standard of only 8 episodes a season, a lot of shows aren't going to make it to 100 episodes, which is sad. But maybe that's good. They're not stretching it out needlessly just to reach a number. They're getting the stories they want told out instead of having to fill it up with padding just to lengthen it. So there's pros and cons, but I miss it when shows would get to 100 episodes because 100 feels like such a big milestone, That's just my personal opinion. But the standard for length, I think streaming service doesn't have a set standard for length of episode because instead of like TV, how it had 11-minute episodes or 22-minute episodes, I seen the first episode of the Knuckles show, which was a streaming show set in the Sonic movie universe. I seen the first episode put on YouTube for free, and it's 33 minutes. That doesn't fit into a standard television thing. So from what I know, from what I've seen, streaming services usually have the 24 to 25 minute standard, but clearly they don't always stick to it. So, yeah. But now I accidentally skipped over one, which was direct to video shows. Now let me pause again so I can respond to my girlfriend, and I'll get back to that. There we go. Okay, I got videos to watch. She sent me a lot of videos, so I'm going to have to quickly wrap this up. Direct-to-video shows. Shows that would not air on TV, at least not at first. They would be put on VHS tapes or later on DVDs. And I don't know if any direct-to-video shows went to Blu-ray. I don't know if direct-to-video shows are still a thing. But, they would go onto VHS or DVD and get shipped straight to stores, and then you'd buy them off the shelf. And I think the episodes, just like the internet, didn't have a consistent set time because they didn't need to. Because, they don't have to try to squeeze commercial breaks in there. So some stuff was like 7 minutes, 11 minutes, 22 minutes, 15 minutes, etc. No consistency. So there you go. That's direct-to-video shows. I know there's probably a lot of direct-to-video shows, some of which may be considered lost media. I saw a video about a direct-to-video show that was used for a cult. It was some messed up stuff. I'm not going to talk about that. But the only direct-to-video show I can think of is MLPG3, because that was direct-to-video stuff. I know there's probably better, but that's the only one I can think of off the top of my head. So yeah, there we go. There's all the different types of TV shows. Or shows, not TV shows. Different types of shows that exist. And now I'm trying to come up with 2 of each. And I'm going to suggest us to watch them in the server I'm in where we watch movies and shows together. I'm making a poll. And I want to put 2 of each kind. But the only direct-to-video show I know is MLPG3. So I might need to do some research and find some. Usually direct-to-video stuff is considered not very good. Curse of Chucky was a pleasant surprise. Usually direct-to-video stuff sucks. That's not here nor there. Anyway, I'm going to go celebrate my birthday. See you guys next time. Peace.